but I really wanted to go back and film. And I was like, how? Maybe I should go back to the UK. Maybe that's an escape that maybe gets me back into film. And then this film came in, and I'm like, you know what? No, my country is where I need to be. And I want people to care about the Emirati voice. The culture that we have here is so unique that it's different from Saudi, it's different from Bahraini. It's similar, but different at the same time. And it's worth telling and worth listening to.
Hi, and welcome to Spotlight with Tina. I'm your host, Tina George, an international runway model and a film professional, here to bring you insightful conversations with masterminds in the film and fashion world. Are you ready? Lights, camera, and
Action.
I love that. You've been saying action a lot lately, Maitha,
Yes, I have.
and you are the director of Eid Eiden,
Yes.
which is a movie that is running in GCC
Yes,
at the moment as well. And it's your first feature film.
it is. It is my first feature film. It's my first comedy family film as well. I've never done comedy in my life, so it's a very interesting kind of genre to delve into as your first feature. No pressure,
No pressure.
making people laugh. But Al Eid Eiden is a very heartwarming and very intimate storyline because, first of all, it talks about Eid, which is an Islamic holiday that is celebrated across the GCC in the Middle East in Islamic homes.
Yes.
But also, it's kind of our version of Christmas. So it's how a family spends time together to celebrate an occasion that is special to them. And Al Eid Eidain is named the way it is because we're saying there's not one Eid, there's two Eids.
Because there's a Saudi and the Emirati family.
Exactly.
Oh, they're mixed families, basically.
Exactly.
I love the way you say the title.
Al Eid Eidain.
It sounds so amazing. But you were telling me before that this was voted. This title was actually voted for.
Yeah, it
so what
was-
were the other choices?
So, first of all, it was voted by the audience, so I had no say. But we had different options. Like first, it was Jibna al-Eid,
Okay.
which is like we brought the Eid, which is a funny way of also we brought the chaos,
Right, okay.
which is symbolizes. But there was this film, like a series that came out for Saudi Arabia in Netflix called Jabat al-Eid, which is about a Saudi girl who fell in love with a Pakistani British man, and she's coming on Eid Day to kind of introduce her fiance to her family.
Okay.
And about how both sides take on the mixed cultural cross
That'll be
there.
interesting.
Yes, it is. It's a very interesting series. But the other one is there was a saying in the film that our kids in the film said, which is "Atlaq ijaza," which is best holiday ever, which is the opposite of
What actually happened?
what actually happened. It's basically holiday gone wrong. The whole thing, which was our actual English working title in the beginning. And it's a beautiful story. It's a very intimate story for me because my sister is Emirati. She's married to a Saudi, and she just welcomed her baby son back then when we first did our first shot. He was born on the day we filmed our first
That
shot.
is amazing.
Yeah,
What a
and-
way to remember that.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's more special is the premiere was on the 9th of July, which is his first year birthday. So it was, and his name is Yusuf, which is also a character in the film.
None of that was planned?
None of that was planned. I feel like my sister planned it with her husband.
She definitely planned that.
She says that she has to get royalties now for that.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to go to school and talk about this.
Yeah,
You've like got your
hopefully.
marketing set. Like, on my birthday, it was premiered. On the day I was born, it was shot.
Yes,
Right?
and we're hoping this will be like a like a Home Alone type film.
I read that. Yes, that was inspired.
That
was
was-
that your idea about the hotel that you wanted to be
No,
shot at?
actually, it was a very interesting thing. Our writer, Sarah Sayer, she's from Abu Dhabi. She also grew up with two different kind of backgrounds. Her mom is Qatari, her father's Emirati. So she had that, and she had those holidays where she spends in Qatar or she spends in Abu Dhabi or they spend abroad somewhere with the family. So she wrote the script. She took her like 4 years to write the script and go back and forth until it got greenlit to film. And she wrote it based on her experiences and her love for Home Alone too. So she loved the fact that, in Kevin went to New York, he went to the plaza, to the park, and she was like, I want people to experience the same thing in Abu Dhabi. Whereas our version of New York, it's Abu Dhabi. So the Yas Island is a big prominent character in the film because it symbolizes our version of New York, like Times Square in a sense or so.
Exactly.
And what's beautiful is when she approached me with the script, it was an email. It was suddenly I see her email in my inbox and I read it and I thought it was for a short film because she was like, "Hey, would you mind would you be interested in directing something?" And then when I downloaded the script, it was a feature. And I was so excited. I called my mom. I was like, "Mom, I got a feature script, my first ever." And I read it in one go straight away and I was laughing my ass off. Like, so honestly, it was so funny. And I felt like I was reading my sister 10 years in the future, going through life with three kids in Saudi. And that's what made me fall in love with the characters because I felt that what's beautiful about the script, it shows the male figures in an Emirati Saudi households in a different light than we're used to seeing it in dramas, which is basically someone who is caring, more thoughtful, more woke. I would say it's a partnership, it's a friendship,
More new age.
more new age. The father is only looking after the daughter's best interest, and he loves his daughter so much that he's overly protective of her, and might want things that he believes that she deserves, but he doesn't see happening. The husband's doing the same thing. She is doing the same thing. And the only thing about this whole thing is the miscommunication between them. There's no communication. Therefore, everything's lost in translation. So people don't so things get out of hand because of that. And that's the basis of the film. It's about reunion. It's about family values. It's about family reconnecting and relearning about each other. The couple, the father and daughter, the father-in-law and son-in-law, the children, their parents, the children themselves. You get to experience a whole family unit that you yourself will feel connected to despite the language barrier, despite the culture barrier, because the characters transcend
All
those
of that.
things. And the only thing that you will see that is a bit different is a glimpse of your Emirati or Saudi or Khaliji neighbor that you might not have seen or have seen glimpses of at work, through friends, through your neighborhood, but wasn't really involved much in. This is where we open up our doors and say, "Hey, this is who we are as a culture. Welcome to our homes."
That. And for you, how did you meet Sarah? Was that the first ever interaction
Yeah.
where she sent? Okay, so you've never known her before.
Nope.
You're just getting a random email that didn't go to your junk mail.
No.
Went
Thank
straight to your
God.
email.
Imagine if
Exactly.
that happened.
Imagine that happened. So it's your first interaction. That is fascinating. It was
Yeah.
meant to be.
It was meant to be because I remember it was like me being a director who's done short films mainly in the West.
Award-winning director, I must
Yes,
add.
thank
Was
you.
it 13 awards and 40 festivals?
Yes,
Amazing for
exactly.
Charlie and X.
Charlie and X, and also a script that I hold dear called Noor. It's in development right now. I'm trying to find financing for it. A majority of my scripts, as you can tell, are all Western based, or some of them are Middle Eastern, but not locally based.
Yes.
So they wanted to see who is this person, and so I had to pitch. I had to pitch my idea to them as any projects you need to do. I had to pitch to Sarah, I had to pitch to Derek, that you the head of content, and I had to pitch to CEO Ben Ross. And it was nerve wracking, I won't lie. It's like the first time I'm pitching for, like, this is my vision. Do you like it? Do you not like it? I don't know. But this is who I am as a person. And I pitched it, and I didn't know this at the time, but later Sarah told me that my vision and her vision was the exact same vision, and that's something that they already told her not to hold up hope for, because for a writer's vision to be identical to a director's is never heard of. So I feel like it was a match made in heaven, this pairing of me and her. We were like two peas in a pod,
In
sisters in
sync.
crime, in sync and everything. Even on set, she was on set and with me the whole time, and I feel that she was a gem on set. You have to have a writer on set, because as a director, I want to change some stuff on the spot because I get so involved with the actors' ideas of
Yes.
what's happening that sometimes it just changes the storyline. And then in the edit is when you were like, "Oh, what the hell did I do? Where's the story gone?" And you can't piece it together. So having a writer on set puts you in that place where it checks the story that it's going the right place, the plot is still the same, there's nothing that majorly affects the rest of the storyline, because you're not filming in chronological order, you're filming
Right.
back like different scenes depending on the location
And
or
she
the,
has to understand what you're doing at that point as well.
exactly.
But did it ever affect you, the fact that you wanted to go in one direction and she's holding you back? to stick to the script?
That's a funny thing. Never happened. I remember times when I was like, I was looking at the scene, I was like, and then I was like, Sarah, and she was like, I get Maitha. So we're doing this now, yeah? And I was like, thank you.
Oh,
And that's it.
great.
So and then she was like, Maitha. I was like, I know. I was already heading to the actors to tell them what to do when Sarah was like, Maitha, no. I was like, got it. I got it. I'm doing it now. So we were just in sync
Right.
with each
A
other.
telepathy.
It was so well done. And I
Wow.
feel like sometimes I feel like I was spoiled with this film because everything was like a dream came true. It was a dream production, dream team. My crew were amazing. My actors were phenomenal. We became a tiny family behind the sets. And till now, we're like messaging each other. My kids, like the three kids in the film, we still send Instagram text and we support each other
You
and
did TikToks with one
video.
of them, I saw.
Yeah,
I saw
it's
that.
they're so cute. And honestly speaking, I'm so blessed. I would say it came in the right time. I was going through a very horrible phase where I didn't know where I was in life. I was in a 9 to 5 job. It was still in production, but wasn't where I wanted to be. It was amazing, creative, but I really wanted to go back and film. And I was like, wow, maybe I should go back to the UK. Maybe that's an escape that maybe gets me back into film. And then this film came in, and I'm like, you know what? No, my country is where I need to be. And I'm so glad because now so many doors are opening, so many new ideas, so many new values that I didn't know I had. I didn't value Arab films before. Now I just want to do Arab films. I want our Arab voice to reach universal heights. And I want people to care about the Emirati voice. The culture that we have here is so unique that it's different from Saudi, it's different from Bahraini. It's similar but different at the same time. And it's worth telling and worth listening to.
Absolutely. That's your own identity. And like you said before, you've opened up doors for the rest of the world to see a bit of you as well. In terms of Emirati films, are there many comedy films like this?
Well, there have been a lot of comedy films. In our culture, we love comedy and we love drama and we love horror. Those are
Oh,
the three genres that we go to, especially for our movies. You'll see a lot of amazing horror films like Three by Nail Khaja,
yes, of
which, by the
course.
way, it's at Emirates Airlines right now in all their fleets. So
Nice.
please, if you're on an Emirates flight, watch it. And there's also other ones like Mohammed Said Harb created a film called Rashid and Rajab. Shadi Alphonse, who was in my film, was a main character in that one. It was kind of like Freaky Friday in a sense,
Okay.
but in a more of a Middle Eastern twist.
Right.
And it's a beautiful story. It's very hilarious, very funny, and it's a different vibe than my film. Mine is more geared towards family. I won't say it's the first of its kind, but it's one of the few of its kind because it also centers around Eid, which we don't see much of. We don't have holiday films. This is, I think, one of hopefully many coming up. We've grown up with Christmas movies, Valentine, New Year's, Halloween. Now it's time to grow up with Eid and hopefully more Ramadan series coming up.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad you made a comedy film
Yeah.
because I love comedy,
I'm
right?
glad.
Horrors, I can't watch. I mean, when the event that you and I were over the
Yeah.
weekend, when I saw Naila's a trailer for three, I was like, this is really scary.
Yeah.
People who love horror are gonna love that movie, but she's done an amazing job.
She did.
But you made a movie for someone like me.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Thank you for loving that genre. Because I will say that the two scariest genre to ever go into is comedy and horror.
Yes.
It's hard to make people scared and it's hard to make people laugh. And I will tell you honestly, I watched this film 100 times. I kind of lost the funny bone whenever I watch it, but then I step away from it and I watch it again and I laugh again. And that's the good way. You know what really gets me is when I'm sitting there and listening to other people laugh.
Of
That's when I'm
course.
like, I did a good job because it's scary. Not everyone laughs at anything. I laugh at anything. So that's something that I was worried about.
Yes.
And it's also at the same time the way you laugh. It's situational or is it smart comedy? The film is situational comedy. It's Adam Sandler like comedy. It's Home Alone comedy, and I think that's the comedy that we all resonate with. It's the comedy that we would laugh at as kids, as adults. It's that silly, smart humor that you see and like, oh my god, that happened to me, or oh my god, what if it happened to me? So secondhand embarrassment is a very big thing.
It is a big thing.
It's not a genre that I ever saw myself get into, but I'm so happy it was the first genre that I was able to prove myself as a feature director because it was a test of whether or not I could make it and it was a test that was like I'm hopeful that I was up for the challenge, and I proved that I did meet the challenge head on, and I succeeded, hopefully.
I mean, going from short films, I guess winning the awards gave you some confidence that, yes, I can do this? Or was it still nerves? Is like, what have I put myself up against? Can I walk out of it?
Always nerves. I would say there's always nerves about it because I was like, oh shoot. A small set is you with your friends.
Yes.
A small set is you with minimum crew, and the actors that you get in are very minimum. Like you don't do a short film with 100 actors. You do a short film like with 5 actors, 4 actors. And then maybe like 10 extras here and there. So for me, when I went in, thankfully I had a producer, Rawi Abdullah. She worked with me on a short before. I did Year of the 50, a short film like
For Abu Dhabi.
For Abu Dhabi for Creative Labs. I was in my element then because it was all my family members, all the kids of my family from 9 months old till 16 years old were in that film. But it was nerve wracking because I was with one of my most beloved actresses, Fatma Hosseini. She is someone that I've always dreamed of working with, and I was so lucky to work with her on this short film. And she was phenomenal. And I was nervous because I was like, I need to be professional and I need to speak in Arabic. I've never directed in Arabic. That was the first time I directed in Arabic. It was very nerve wracking
A
because
lot of firsts for you in this film.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And going from that to a feature where my kids didn't even know my accent and didn't understand it, it was so weird because I was like, okay, so you're going to be doing this and that and that. They're like, did you get it? They were like, yeah. And then they'll turn to their Saudi co star and they're like, what did she say? I was like, what? Am I talking a different language? But it's so
This is like a nightmare for a director.
exactly. And they were so shy in the beginning, so you need to win. Like with these kids, you need to win their trust. And thankfully, we managed to do that. That by the end of it, they were stuck to us, and we cried when they left.
Oh.
They became our kids, you know. So for me, it was just nerve wracking for the first week, but then you get into the groove, and you're like, I can do this. Derek Duchy was so great as a mentor. He said something on the first day of set that was so well received by me because I was like, okay, that's a relief because he said this set is not just a feature film set. It's a set for you to learn. It's an educational set. It's for you to learn how to do more features, how to work on a bigger set, how to operate on a bigger scale. And it's always a learning curve. So don't worry. If you're not sure about something, we're here to guide you. That's our job. And I was so happy and relieved because I had 3 producers on set, Rawia, Troy, and Derek. I had amazing executive producers. And Sarah was an executive producer as well as Talal was an executive producer. I have 2 amazing casting directors on set, one handling the kids. His name is Al Walid from Saudi. And then Alwiya was our casting agent here. She's also herself a director. And it was just amazing to see a bunch of creatives being together, sharing their thoughts, but at the same time, respecting that my vision as a director, respecting my creative freedom, and allowing me the chance to create something that is purely me. Like I would say, this film I'm so proud of because it is my voice. It is me. Yeah, the story wasn't written by me, but it felt like it was written by me. And the way I presented it is exactly the way that I envisioned it. And I feel that it's thanks to the partnership of a great DOP, Jad Beiruti, and a great AD, Shadi Asfour. It's just a synergy of people who just love film and just want to create something that would transcend time as well and make people happy. And I think that's what we did.
Absolutely. The fact that Imagination's involvement and giving you so much support, that is a dream come true
Yeah.
in the way that you can actually go and execute this film. And it sounds like your team is a dream team as well.
Yeah, they were, honestly. I would recommend every single one of them, and I want to work with each one of them at a drop of a hat. Like, they're just amazing. They carried me through. They were my backbone. My crew was my backbone. They were my family. And I just enjoyed waking up with them and going to set with them on time and having just breakfast and just going and say, hey to everyone. It was just like being with family. And I remember the after we wrapped up, I went back home. We were living in Abu Dhabi for 2 months, so I went back home to my granny, and I remember coming down steps already greeting people, and I was like, oh wait,
There's
they're
no one
not
here.
here, and it was so sad because I was like, I miss my family, and
Yeah.
they really were my family.
It becomes very close knit. I mean, it's so intense when you're making a film.
Mm.
Even when you work on small projects, it's so intense. But making a film and having that kind of camaraderie, it's something that it takes you so much time to get over. But luckily for you guys, you've had like been reunited with all these events and the premieres
Yes.
and all of that, right?
Yes, oh, the premiere was a beautiful reunion.
In Yas
I'm
Island.
in Yas Island in Warner Brothers theme park. It was amazing. It was a dream come true. We didn't even think about it. Like I was like, where would the premiere be? And we originally thought it would be in a cinema as usual.
Yes,
But then they were like, no, we're doing it in Warner Brothers theme
of
park.
course.
And you're gonna stay in the Warner Brothers hotel. I was like, oh, finally. I filmed the hotel and now I'm gonna stay in it as a guest. And it was so nice because the hotel staff felt like family to us because we knew everyone. We were saying, "Hey, how are you How are you doing?
Welcome back.
Welcome back." So it was just a beautiful reunion. I remember when I first saw the kids for the first time. It was on the red carpet, and they just ran to me, and we were stuck to each other. I was like, and it was just beautiful because this is the first time they saw the film. Like I saw it, but I wanted to see it.
Yes.
And the whole time we were seeing the premiere, I was just looking at my actors on the side. They were sitting there and I was like looking, and I was seeing like Mira and Mitfa are my main female lead and Fahad al-Bateri, my main male lead. I'm just laughing and pointing and giggling. And I even saw Mira crying at some point, and I was like, that's what I want.
That's what I
And
made the movie for.
that's what I made a movie. I'm so happy that they're happy. And that's what I want. I want my actors to be happy with how I presented them. Because getting a trust of an actor, as you know, to be on screen, especially a female, to be vulnerable in front of the camera is a big thing. And I think that's where, as a female director, we need to make sure that however we present these actors, especially the female actresses, we need to make sure that they're happy.
100%, because it's so different for a male as to a female. And I think even this film, I think you, Sarah, your producer, and there were lot more females in the background, right?
Yeah, the
And
head
it's,
of the head of wardrobe, Shivangi Gandhi. She was,
oh, I love
yeah,
Shivangi.
she and her two stylists were amazing. She custom made all of Meha's outfits, and this is her first ever Emirati film, feature film that she did, and she did a phenomenal job. And it was just her and a very minor crew, but she made it happen. We had Tara as well. She was the head of hair and makeup, and she did a fantastic job with
So
the
predominantly
actresses.
all female.
Mainly
Predominantly.
female, yeah. Behind the camera, it was also Alia, our script supervisor and continuity. She was phenomenal. So basically, you had a primarily female crew. We had even a line producer,
Was it
Rochelle.
intentional? Was it intentional? Or
Well,
did it just happen?
it wasn't intentional, but it just happened in a very nice way. We even were considering a female DOP, but I'm so happy I landed with Jad. He is phenomenal, and I needed someone with a Zen mode like me. Like I remember just seeing Shadi, my AD, on Zoom. I never worked with them before. I just worked with Shivangi before. We worked actually together in a
Yes.
commercial long time before.
Yeah.
It's like so. It's like I love how everything comes back in circles. And
2019, I think it was. We worked
yes.
together.
Yeah, and
Yes.
it was such a beautiful shoot. And
It
I
was.
remember you stayed in my head and Shivi stayed in my head for a long time. And I was like, I want to work with these people again one day. And
Look at that.
hopefully we will work together soon.
Yes.
But basically, I remember seeing Shadi on Zoom. And I just, first time, I looked at it and I was like, yeah, that's my AD. Because I needed someone that has a sense of zen around them, that because when you're on a stressful set, you need people that calm you down.
Oh, yes.
You don't want someone that stresses you out. And Jad and Shadi were just the best team. Actually, the whole crew, the whole camera crew were the best team. They were all so chill and so kind of like, in their own element. And working with kids, you need someone like that. And they were just phenomenal with kids. And I think that's the first time they actually worked with kids. And they were just, the kids loved them and they
Yeah.
were all over.
Was it the kid's first time in a feature?
My older kid, who plays Ali, Abdul Majid, he had a feature before, but Abdul Muhsin and Layal didn't have a feature before. They've been in commercials. Layal, actually, the girl, has never done a talking role before, and she's the one that did a full transformation. She is so good, and I told her mom, like, you need to keep her in showbiz. Like, she's so good. She's gonna be amazing, and we need more actresses. and their parents, their
That's high praise
mothers.
for a little
Yeah.
girl.
No, she was really good. They were ad-libbing by the end of it. They were so good. They were like, "We're gonna say this." I was like, "Sure." And they were actually like telling the main actress some line. They were like, "She's like, what should I say there?" And they're like, "Oh, you should say this and that and that."
They're listening. They're so into it.
They
That is
they were
amazing.
saying cut and action with me by the end of it too, and they were
Watch out,
troopers.
Maitha.
Yeah, I know, like,
I
right?
think I think you need a second
My
job maybe.
maybe, but I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind seeing them behind the camera if that's what I inspire them to be. Like, I love the fact that they felt so comfortable to be themselves, and I love the fact they were so professional. Like my Abdul Muhsin, the actor who played Muhammad, he had a fever of 39 at some point on set, and we were like, "We're gonna stop." He was like, "No, no, no, continue." And if you see the scene, you'll never guess that he had a fever. And then straight after, we took him to the hospital, but he was such a trooper. He was like, "I'm staying. I'm finishing the scene and then leaving." I was like, "Okay."
That is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And this is what passion is about.
Yeah.
You never see this mostly in any other fields, but you don't have passion
Yeah.
to do it, right?
And he's a 7-year-old. So imagine 7-year-olds, 9-year-olds being that. They taught me so much. And I always say this, I can learn something from a beginner, and I can learn someone from someone who's more experienced than me. It's always learning. And that's the beauty of being on the set. You learn stuff from everyone. I had interns that I learned from, as they learned from me. And I loved that. It's an exchange of knowledge. And that's what I love being about set. Like even the premiere, when I was there looking at the premiere, and I was like, all I was thinking about, I want to be in my next set now. I just want to be back on set. Put me back on set.
You read my mind. What's next? What's next for Maitha Alawadi?
Oh, I'm heading to Bollywood.
I like that.
I'm heading to Bollywood, but I'm actually going to Bollywood now to pitch some ideas. But I have some local stories that I really want to tell. I'm working on two web series that I really want to tell. One is a mockumentary
Okay.
about, it's called Behind the Burqa. It's about four modern day Emirati girlfriends in Dubai who are trying to figure out life while juggling with societal and cultural pressures. And they realize that where life is leading them is not necessarily what they wanted to be in the beginning. And it's kind of like Modern Family meets Hella Sex and the City.
Oh,
So like that's the whole like premise of it.
that sounds very glamorous.
It is glamorous, but it's also very down to earth. It's about like based on events that happened between me and my girlfriends.
So
And
you've written this script.
yes, I written the script. I wrote it. The characters are very intimate to me and my friends and the girls I know around me. So it's a very intimate look into Emirati females in Dubai, and yeah, that's one series I'm writing, and the other one is a drama, a period drama about that's been inspired by the life of my great grandfather who came to back to Dubai when he was 10 years old before the union happened, and seeing how his life changed before the union, after the union, and it's a story of struggle, success, and losing everything in one night.
Wow, very different genres.
Yeah, it's all about exploring voices, and I think that's what I love about film. You can become anything and you can tell any story as long as you have a passion in it. And I think that's what I love about it. Like that's why I always say don't get yourself typecasted, because you can explore so many things if you just are open to new ideas and new adventures. And that's what
Exactly.
film is.
And aside from just being a full-time freelance filmmaker, you're also host at Dubai TV. Is that right?
Yes, I'm one of 14 hosts in a show called DXP Today, which is about the lifestyle in Dubai, everything, anything, and everything that's happening right now, the current things that are happening in Dubai. And it airs in Dubai 1. We're back, I think, on for our sixth season, I believe, at the end of September. And it's a Monday to Friday show.
That's amazing.
So it's a very beautiful show about culture, everything you want to know that's happening in Dubai. It's where we talk about it, and it's a beautiful mixture of cultures as well, because every presenter has their own flair
In
to the
that.
show. Yeah,
And that's what I love about freelancers as well, that, me being a freelancer myself, you do so many things, you get to meet so many different people, and you actually don't typecast yourself
yeah,
voluntarily.
exactly,
I mean, I've discovered so much about myself in just my short journey here in Dubai recently, and your journey has been phenomenal. And I feel that now that you've opened up comedy to the world and through a beautiful Emirati film, we get to see a part of the Emirati culture that we probably don't have access to, which is
exactly.
great. And I must say, when I saw the trailer and I see the poster, I just get this sense of happiness when I see that. And I love that you brought that into your film. You know, it's joyous, it's fun. That's what it looks like. It's not scary.
Thank you so
Congratulations.
much.
I wish you the best.
Thank you so much for having me.